right, YouTube, lock and load ninjas, interwebs at large, week away from SHOT Show and trying to tie up some loose ends. So I decided to shoot some Versus videos while I also tested out this belt that I was sent, which is the Core Essentials belt, which you can see the video for that right there. It'll pop up in one of those corners. I never get that right. Anyway, and it was versus the champion versus one of the challengers. And there's always going to be a challenger. The champion, of course, in this space, the Glock 19, arguably one of the best-selling guns in the world, if not the best-selling gun in the world. This is a tight, compact package, 15-round capacity. A lot of police departments issue this to their detectives. Glock owns law enforcement for the most part. Of all the guns that are out there, this is the one that has probably got the most penetration, followed closely by the Glock 17 and various other ones. But this is undeniably the champion in this space, in the striker-fired compact space. And there's been lots of challenges. Glock was not the first striker-fired, but it is the most successful striker-fired pistol out there. However, there was a long time when you could say, not the first, but the best. Now you can no longer say that. You can't say that anymore, because here we have the CZ P10C. This is the first in the P10 line to actually make it out into the market. This is actually, I wouldn't call it 2.0. They changed the magazine release from a truly ambidextrous magazine release, which proved to be a little bit stiff, fresh out of the box, to the same kind of drop-in swappable magazine release that you find in the P07 series, P09, and now it's in the P10 series and all the way across the spectrum of the models from the S, C, and the F. This gun, when you're looking at the tail of the tape, is slightly bigger, slightly longer. It is slightly deeper coming off of the grip. And it may even be a scintilla wider. Unlike the Glock 19, which still comes with the fine Glock plastic sights, the P10C comes with nice aluminum sights. Some people have made a big thing about them not being plastic. Wouldn't that be like a source of hallelujah or something? But it also has a heavier lockup on the inside of the gun. So it's a heavier gun than this gun. It has a straighter trigger, which is not that hard to do. And this coming out of the box needs no modifications, none. It used to be with Glock, of course, that coming out of the box, Gens 1 through 4, you wanted to do something about certain things. The Glock Gen 5, I find to be, the trigger is crisper. I would say it is adequate. P10C, on the other hand, oh my. This has the feel of a custom trigger. Straight out of the box, the gun came with fully ambidextrous controls, serrations on the front and rear, metal sights, a very nice tuned up trigger, replaceable back straps or interchangeable back straps, and a textured grip along with an accessory rail right here and the heavier lockup. Out of the box, this gun is going to be more accurate for more people simply because of the trigger. Simply because of the trigger. That's all lip service. That's all specs on a sheet. It's all first impressions. It doesn't matter that much unless you can make it translate into something on the range, which I tried to go out there and decipher what they had to say. So back, fresh off the range with the Glock 19 Gen 5 and the CZ P10C with the better safety on it. A few things. This has a lot of market saturation. This has a lot of market saturation. And it's going to be very hard to because guns are durable goods, and most people that are bidding on these are trying to save money the best way they can. Glock has a very serious system when it comes to taking care of their law enforcement partners. And this gun performs very well. It's very solid, very dependable. If you have a Glock Gen 1 through 4, or if you've got a Gen 5, I cannot honestly tell you that you need to go out there and get rid of that gun. I was persuaded to take a look at the Gen 5s. I was completely, with the Glocks, with the Gens 2 and 3, which were the ones I had the most experience with, I could not abide them unless I sent them to somebody like Agency Arms to work over. This gun coming out of the box, this one is the optics ready, so I mean, I drop a Holosun 407 on there and I'm going to be good to go. As far as a carry gun, this is a fine carry gun. It's as dependable as anybody needs. Very simple to say. However, the CZ P10C is knocking on the door. This gun, if this gun had been around in 1984, we wouldn't be making this video today. That's a plain and simple fact. And the really interesting point about CZ and anybody else that's making striker-fired guns, because lots of people are making good striker-fired guns now. Not only do they make this good striker-fired gun, but they have the entire CZ75 line. They have the P01s. They have shotguns. They have centerfire rifles, 9mm, pistol caliber carbines. CZ makes everything. They make all kinds of guns, and still, their design department batted it out of the park. I mean, look at the trigger guard. Trigger guard's already beveled out. It's huge. If you are wearing gloves in a cold environment, your finger is going to fit in that trigger guard without getting it tangled up in that trigger. The Glock trigger guard, it's been the same size, and when the hammer is forward in the cocked position, now you have less room. Most people that customize these guns, they'll bevel this out to make it just to get a little bit more size. And just the idea that they've never, since 1984, 85, they've never changed the trigger guard at all. Plus, all the shooting I did that particular day, I got a really nice case of Glock knuckle. There are a few things they can still fix. Having said that, they have spruced up the trigger. Overall, the gun is a better gun. It is not a better gun than this one, though. So, these guns come in at relatively, pretty close to the same price point. As a matter of fact, I think the optics ready P10s may be cheaper. I found this one for 620 bucks. The optics ready Glock. I paid for both these guns with my money. And 620 bucks for that. I think this comes in at $559. So if you're not heavily invested in the Glock series, if you don't have, I've got 15 mags per sized gun. I've got holsters laying all over the place. It's one of the most accessorized guns out there. Then you don't have to. You don't have to get involved in that. CZ is beginning to get really heavy third-party support. A lot of vendors coming on board. Magpul's coming on board. They're starting to make PMags and everything else for the excellent Scorpion line. It's just, it's a beautiful thing. So CZ USA, that's where you would find the P10 series, which I think ergonomically it also sort of kicks Glock around a little bit because of the way the palm swells and dips and everything else. It's a very nice, easy to shoot gun. But Glock they're here to stay. They're still going to be the best ones out there as far as who has the most saturation. But CZ is knocking on the door. If you're not invested in this yet, here you go. If you like this kind of content, and I hope you do, maybe give me a thumbs up. If you see me on the floor at SHOT Show, I'm the guy that looks like this. I would love to meet you. Feel free to come up, introduce yourself. That'd be great. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. That'd be really nice. And I am out of here.